Hey everyone, it's Jordan or JRC, the SLP. With the deadline for graduate school quickly approaching, I just wanted to make a video about making your graduate school decision, some things I wish I knew before I went to graduate school, and how to make the most of your experience once you're there, or if you're there already. There are a lot of things to consider when choosing a graduate program, and it is honestly and truly a decision that decides your path for much longer than 2 years, which is already something that I wish I knew. Not that I would change anything about what happened or where I went or anything about the past, but it might have changed the way I thought about some things coming into the program. One of the most important things to think about when you're choosing a graduate program or a school or anything is the location. When you think about location, you have to think about more than just the university or the college or the campus that you'll be on. You have to think about what's in the surrounding areas and what that means for you. So that includes things like cost of living, if there's public transportation, if you need a car, if you're going to live close to campus or what's around campus, because you don't want your clinical externships to be too far. You want everything to kind of be in the surrounding areas, especially if you are relying on public transportation, if that's a thing where you're going. And more than anything, you just really need to be able to make sure you can enjoy your time outside of class, outside of clinic, and when you're off campus. So for some people, that might mean going to a big city or somewhere where you know somebody already, where you have family there. That might be going somewhere that's a little more southern, a little more country, or for some people that might mean just really investing in the ambiance of where you live, where you study, and where you're going to spend pretty much majority of your time outside of class and work or clinic or whatever you may be doing for school. Something that was most important for me was the diversity of the program and the city that I would be in. So that goes along with location. Now, before I say this, I want to clarify that I don't think you should go into any graduate program or any location or anything like that just looking for a significant other. But I knew personally, coming from a PWI and going into a very female-dominated field, I needed to be somewhere that Black men frequent. So we can definitely say that that's something I considered beforehand. And these are just, random things that you're going to want to think about for yourself, what's important to you. But even if you're not sure about the diversity of the program, you can definitely call and ask. And if they don't have an answer like off the top of their head, honestly, the response that they give you is going to give you enough information to decide if that's somewhere where you want to be. Do your research about faculty that they have on campus and different specialties they might be offering and courses that you are interested in that you might be able to take, because you want to make sure that you take complete advantage of the 2 years or more that you have in a space that's designed for you to learn and designed for you to grow and designed for you to build on your knowledge. So you want to make sure you go somewhere where you feel like you're a good fit, but also you feel like you can contribute something to that program as well. Another thing that's really important to research is making sure that you know the program's requirements. You want to set yourself up for success. So for some, that may be what your GPA is, your GRE score, see if they even require the GRE. Make sure you really understand what they're looking for in a candidate before you apply and waste your money, because that is something that we all do. Now, it's fine. We all have our dream schools. We all have the one program that we really want to get into. And I definitely think that you should apply to those programs because it's not just your GPA. It's not just your GRE. There's a lot of different things that they're looking at. But you also want to make sure that you set yourself up for success and apply places that you meet all the requirements. Then, write a good personal statement, see if there's anything else that they're requiring from you, and just making sure that you go somewhere where you fit, where you belong, and where you think it's going to be good for you. Another thing I wish I knew is just more about the location and what I need prior to going. So I went to Howard University for my graduate program, and I was waitlisted before I was accepted. So I didn't know that I was accepted until 2 weeks before I had to be on campus, which means I had to do whatever the shot and the medical requirements are. I had to find housing. I had to just figure a lot of things out that I wasn't really prepared to do, but I was like, it's worth it. I'm going to go to Howard. So I ended up paying way more for an apartment that I could not afford. I didn't have transportation, didn't have a car. I spent so much money on public transportation. This is something that I wish I knew beforehand. But another thing that you have to think about is I was getting out of classes at like 9:30. Then I have to walk to the bus stop from campus, be on the bus by like 10:30 p.m. Like, I love DC and I love the neighborhood, and I don't think it's a bad area, but just like logically, as a woman, that doesn't feel safe to me. So there's a lot of times where I could have probably took a bus or public transportation, but I decided it was safer for me to spend a lot of extra money and call a Lyft or call an Uber and make sure I get home safely, rather than spend extra amount of time on the bus and getting home even later. So that's definitely something that you want to consider, because I didn't have a car and I didn't have a choice. So that's where all my money went. I literally had nothing. Now, this is probably the most important thing to consider, and also the most infuriating question, and that is, how are you going to afford this graduate program? Are you going to apply for student loans, or there's a lot of different loans for you to consider? Are you going to work full time? Are you going to be a grad assistant? Or there's a lot of different things you can do, or you can be like me and drown in student loans and just wait for someone and count on someone to cancel student loans. Or, maybe somebody random will bless me one day and decide that they want to forgive all the loans that I personally already forgave, but the government has it. So this video is already longer than I was expecting it to be, but I do have a lot more tips and a lot more experience that I want to share with you all. So if you want a part 2, let me know. I got you. And I just want us all to be successful. I want to share what I know so that you can take it and learn from it and do better than me and not have to rely on somebody canceling student debt. Thank you all for watching. Follow me on Instagram, JRC the SLP. Hit me up, like, comment, subscribe, etc. Talk to y'all soon.